If you haven't decided what you're having for your tea tonight, not too late to nip out for. Here's a menu for you. Honey glazed octopus, tempura mussels, spiced venison loin. It's quite challenging, to be honest.
I don't know whether you'd pick those up in your local supermarket. You might have to put the elements together yourself. Some of the dishes that featured on the winning MasterChef menu. Let's have a look at the emotional moment when the winner was crowned.
Our MasterChef champion 2024 is...
You can fly too close to the sun and never melt your wings. And she can't have too much of a good thing. And she can't have too much of a good thing.
Brin.
No way.
That is genuine shock, isn't it? A really special moment for Brin Pirathapan. Now, he is a vet by day. I spoke to him earlier this week. I think you were at Downing Street that day, Charlie, and we started by asking him how it felt to be this year's MasterChef winner.
I was totally in shock. I think you can see from the episode that I didn't really expect it to be my name, I don't think. So it was, once it finally sunk in, it was fantastic. But there was a good few minutes of me kind of wondering if it was real, I think.
You did look genuinely surprised, like you didn't expect to win it, because it's been called the best final in the programme's history.
It was, I mean, Chris and Louise, I always knew they were great chefs, but that final, all of us put in everything. We created some dishes that we were all proud of, and we all executed them as well as we could have. And after the cook, after the feedback, I couldn't call it. So getting my name called out, that was serious surprise, and you could see it on my face.
And that moment will be with you forever, won't it? Talk us through the winning dishes then. Quite often on MasterChef, I think it's maybe a little bit too complex, but this is actually quite accessible food in MasterChef terms.
Yeah, I think my food's always been fairly complex and broad with the amount of elements that's in there. But when you're doing something like the final, you've got to create 3 dishes in 3 hours, and I had to draw back a little bit on the number of elements per dish. But looking back, I think there still were a fair few. I started off with an octopus dish, which is not, you know, it had quite a lot of elements within it and a lot of odd things going together. So it was combined with orange and honey, which I think the judges were a bit sceptical of. But that's what I did the whole competition. I kind of gave them some things that they might be sceptical of, and hopefully change their opinion of it once they tasted it.
It's impressive to teach the judges about fresh flavours, about something new.
Yeah, well, I mean, John and Greg have been doing this for 20 years now. They've seen most things already, and what I wanted to show them was I could still show them new stuff that they've not had. And whenever they questioned that and then turned around and were quite impressed by it, it was a fantastic feeling.
It's really brave, though. You must have trusted your instincts.
You had to. I went through a lot of process prior to those cooks to develop the dishes that I did, and there was always an element of you think of something, you think it's great, you try it out and it's not, and you go back to the drawing board. So that drawing board was really important in getting exactly what I wanted on the plate in front of those two.
But quite important to experiment and to keep trying and getting it wrong sometimes in order to learn. The thing that I'm struck by watching it is how serious it is. And you went from being a casual cook with Sri Lankan heritage, cooking at university when you had no money, to this incredibly intense, scrutinised environment. Does it diminish the fun of cooking when you get to that level?
I really don't think so. I think what it does is you still have the fun of having all your friends round and making something that's really quite casual and relaxed, and the food's there to kind of complement the nice time you're having. But what the show's given me is a whole new element to cooking, and like you say, it is a bit more serious, but that brings an achievement with it, and the reason it gets serious is because we all want it so badly.
What's next for you then? Because you are a vet by trade, trained at Bristol University. It's a busy time for vets. Will you leave that profession?
I think my aim is probably to make food my priority now.
OK.
Veterinary's been great, and I probably will do a little bit of veterinary in the next short term kind of coming up, but I'd like to focus on the food, and I'd like to make the most of this opportunity that MasterChef's given me.
With a wedding coming up, you're marrying Anna later in the year. Congratulations. Will you be cooking at your own wedding?
A lot of people have been asking about whether I'll actually be at the altar or if I'll be in the kitchen. But I think we'll probably leave the cooking to the caterers at the wedding.
Will you be able to enjoy it, though, or will you be critiquing their prep?
I think we'll enjoy it, yeah.
My husband cooked at my wedding, and from a bride's perspective, with a chef who's the groom as well, it's a no-no.
Yeah, I don't think Anna would be too happy if I was... I mean... On the show, I got everything out on time. At home, I don't normally do that. So if I was late to the altar because I was getting the vol-au-vents ready, I don't think that would go down very well.
She will not forgive you on that occasion. No. And in your marital home, finally, where will the MasterChef trophy sit?
That's going to be centre of the room, right on the mantelpiece, yeah.
On the mantelpiece, not in the kitchen?
No, I think we want it pride of place, you know. When we're watching MasterChef in years to come, I want that to be right next to the...
Been there.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Best of luck with the next venture. Really lovely to meet you. And if you ever need anyone to taste your dishes, I'm here for it, Brin.
I'll give you a shout.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ta.
Like a lovely guy.
I hope he does give me a shout to taste his dishes. What a gifted chef.